The Grand Inquisitor served as the head of the Inquisitorius. He was a Pao-on from Utapau and first appeared on screen in Star Wars Rebels as the very first Inquisitor audiences ever saw. His real name has never been revealed, but it is known that he once served as a Jedi Temple guard during the Clone Wars. Even as a Jedi Knight, he began developing resentment toward the Order, especially toward the Temple's chief librarian, Jocasta Nu, who continually refused to grant him access to restricted files in the Jedi archives, claiming he was unworthy of the knowledge. You won't believe how deeply this frustration settled within him. His disillusionment grew even stronger during the trial of Ahsoka Tano, where he acted as one of the guards witnessing her wrongful judgment after she was framed for the temple bombing. These moments chipped away at his trust in the Jedi Order, making him vulnerable to the pull of the dark side. After the Republic fell, he survived Order 66 and was approached by the Emperor, who offered him a place within the Inquisitorius, a position that finally gave him access to the very records he was once denied. As Grand Inquisitor, he reported directly to Darth Vader and became one of the Empire's most effective Jedi hunters. His deep understanding of the Jedi, strengthened by the Temple archives he could now explore freely, made him a uniquely dangerous opponent. During his time serving the Empire, he even confronted Jocasta Nu, the Jedi he despised for so long. He defeated her in combat, but his final strike was halted by Vader, who still needed her alive. His most famous pursuit was that of Kanan Jarrus and his apprentice Ezra Bridger. Despite his clear superiority, he failed to eliminate or capture them. In their final duel aboard a Star Destroyer over Mustafar, Kanan reached a moment of clarity in the Force, allowing him to overcome the Grand Inquisitor at last. Choosing death over facing Vader's punishment, the Grand Inquisitor let himself fall into the flames below. Yet even in death, he found no escape. Vader bound his spirit to a Jedi outpost on Tempest, forcing him to serve as its guardian for eternity. Years later, when Luke Skywalker visited the outpost in search of a new lightsaber, he confronted the Grand Inquisitor's fiery spirit. Luke defeated him, but when the Pao-on begged Vader for release, he was denied, ensuring his ghost remained trapped indefinitely. His spirit lingered, unable to move on to the Force. Barriss Offee was once a committed Jedi Padawan under Jedi Master Luminara Unduli. However, her path toward becoming a Jedi Knight took a dark turn during the Clone Wars. Though skilled in healing and combat, she grew increasingly disheartened by the Jedi Order's involvement in the war. She believed the Order had lost its true purpose and become too entangled with the Republic's military power, abandoning their role as peacekeepers. Her rising frustration pushed her toward orchestrating the bombing of the Jedi Temple as a protest against what she viewed as the Order's hypocrisy. She then framed her close friend Ahsoka Tano for the attack, leading to Ahsoka's wrongful arrest and expulsion. After Anakin uncovered Barriss as the real attacker, she was arrested, but the damage to the Order's reputation was already done. During her trial, Barriss did not deny her crimes. Instead, she used the moment to openly criticize the Jedi before key Republic leaders, including Chancellor Palpatine. Her accusations struck a nerve as even some Jedi were beginning to question the future of their order. She was ultimately sentenced to imprisonment, and her fate was left uncertain when the Clone Wars reached their end. For years after the series ended, fans wondered what happened to her during and after Order 66, with many believing she had fallen to the dark side. Some even suspected she might be the seventh sister due to their shared species. In 2024, Tales of the Empire finally answered the long-standing mystery. Barriss had survived and was offered a place among the Inquisitorius as the Galactic Empire rose to power. In her cell, she was approached by the fourth sister, Lyn Rakish, a former friend from her Jedi days. Lyn informed her of the Republic's fall and gave her a choice: remain imprisoned or join the Empire by embracing the dark side. Barriss accepted and was taken to Nur, where she faced two other candidates in a deadly trial. She won the duel, eliminating the others, and was named an Inquisitor after being urged by the Grand Inquisitor to let go of her old Jedi ways. She then hunted surviving Jedi, though her heart was never fully devoted to the Empire's cruelty. Unlike many other Inquisitors who relished their new power, Barriss remained torn. Witnessing the Empire's harsh treatment of civilians, her doubts resurfaced, and she once again found herself facing a difficult choice. Eventually, Barriss refused to continue serving the Empire. She turned against the Inquisitorius and fled into exile, choosing a quiet life as a wandering healer. Using her Force abilities and medical training, she traveled the Outer Rim, helping those suffering under Imperial rule, but her past eventually caught up with her. Years later, while aiding a family with a Force-sensitive child, the fourth sister tracked them down. Barriss offered to stall the Inquisitor long enough for the family to escape, but during her attempt to talk sense into Lyn, she was accidentally killed. Her death left Lyn questioning her own loyalty to the Empire, and ultimately led her to abandon the dark side as well. Barriss is a character we definitely have thoughts about, and honestly, we're not thrilled with how her story was handled. It isn't bad, far from it, but it feels predictable, and a bit too familiar. Her return to the light after walking the Inquisitor path, only to flee once she witnesses the Empire's cruelty, has become a tired pattern. You won't believe how often Star Wars uses this exact arc. We also never understood her bond with Lyn, a character who appears out of nowhere yet supposedly supposedly has this deep connection with her. We would have much rather seen her cross paths with Ahsoka instead, someone with an actual history with Barriss, someone whose friendship was central in the Clone Wars. Imagine Barriss being defeated by Ahsoka and realizing in that moment how far she had drifted. That would have made her shift back to the light feel far more meaningful and emotionally powerful. The first brother, known as Merrick, was a mysterious Inquisitor introduced in the Ahsoka series. His arrival caused instant confusion, since by the time of A New Hope, the Inquisitors should have been wiped out. His identity triggered a wave of speculation unlike anything we'd seen since the debates surrounding Supreme Leader Snoke. Fans wondered, was he Ezra, Barriss Offee, Starkiller, or even that youngling from the Clone Wars? The theories were endless, and the anticipation kept building. And then, Marek turned out to be absolutely nobody. Just like the days of Rey and Snoke, every theory ended up being more inaccurate than our stock market guesses. Marek himself was a humanoid fighter who belonged to the Inquisitorius. He appears briefly during Barriss's arc in Tales of the Empire and was recently confirmed to be the official first brother. Early on, a Star Wars encyclopedia mistakenly labeled an unnamed Inquisitor from Tales of the Jedi as the first brother, but a later correction on StarWars.com clarified that Merrick held that title, meaning we even misnamed someone in a previous video because of that mix-up. On Cetos, Merrick dueled Ahsoka, who ended the fight by cutting him across the torso, causing his body to dissolve into green mist. This indicates he had already died long ago and was revived through the Night Sister magic to serve Morgan Elsbeth. Some small bits of trivia add an interesting layer to his character. The name Merrick appears inspired by the Arthurian tale of Sir Merrick, a knight transformed into a wolf by his wife, who learned dark magic from Morgan Le Fay. The symbolism fits, as Marek carries a wolf-like theme, and Morgan Elsbeth shares the same first name. Even more fitting, his allies, Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, share their names with the wolves from Norse mythology who chase the sun and moon. There's definitely Dave Filoni influence all over this. The second sister was formerly the Jedi Padawan Trilla Suduri. After the fall of the Jedi, Trilla and her master, Sere Junda, hid a group of younglings from the Empire. But when Sere tried to draw Imperial forces away, she was captured and tortured, ultimately giving up the group's location. The Empire found Trilla and the younglings, capturing her and subjecting her to severe torture. Feeling betrayed by Seer, whom she blamed for her suffering, Trilla fell to the dark side and became the second sister, embracing her new identity with ruthless determination and an icy resolve. Her past pain hardened her, fueling an unrelenting drive to hunt down any surviving Jedi. As an Inquisitor, she grew into one of the most ruthless and ambitious among them, taking pleasure in haunting her targets and striking fear into all who crossed her path. Her most significant mission involved Cal Kestis, a runaway Jedi traveling with Seer. Over the course of their encounters, Trilla managed to acquire a holocron containing a list of Force-sensitive children, a priceless asset for the Empire that would expand its control over potential Jedi before they even had a chance to train. She brought the holocron to Fortress Inquisitorius, but was pursued by Cal and Seer. In their final battle, she was defeated by Cal, who retrieved the holocron. At her weakest, she showed a rare moment of vulnerability, beginning to reconnect with Seer and the memories of her former life. But before any real reconciliation could happen, Darth Vader appeared and executed her instantly, ending her life and the story of our second favorite Inquisitor after the Grand Inquisitor, leaving a lasting mark on the galaxy's dark history. Reva, also known as the Third Sister, was once a youngling at the Jedi Temple during Order 66. She watched the slaughter of her fellow Jedi unfold at the hands of Darth Vader and the 501st Legion. Although stabbed through the stomach by Vader, she somehow survived, the pain searing into her memory and shaping her future. That trauma eventually led her to join the Inquisitorius, but her true motive wasn't loyalty, it was vengeance. She wanted one thing only, a chance to strike down Vader, and she devoted every ounce of her energy to mastering the dark side in preparation for that moment. Reva appears prominently in the Kenobi series and is widely considered one of the most distracting and intense elements of the show. She relentlessly hunts Obi-Wan in hopes of getting close enough to Vader to exact revenge. Her obsession even drives her to stab the Grand Inquisitor and leave him for dead, a reckless move meant to prove her worth to Vader. But everything collapses when she finally faces him on Jabim. Vader had anticipated her plan all along and defeated her effortlessly, not even bothering to draw his own lightsaber to overpower her. It's also revealed there that the Grand Inquisitor had survived, creating yet another layer of humiliation for Reva. Vader then stabbed Reva once again, just as he did years earlier during Order 66, and left her for dead. Now, if you were like us and thought, finally, she's gone for good, here comes the twist. You won't believe this, she still wasn't dead. In the Kenobi show, surviving a lightsaber strike is treated almost like taking a heavy punch. It hurts for a bit, but apparently one can just get back up afterward. In her last attempt at revenge, Reva, still wounded, flies all the way to Tatooine and attempts to harm Luke Skywalker, whom she somehow knows is Vader's son through pure narrative convenience. But at the final moment, after kidnapping Luke, she realizes she's becoming exactly like Vader. Choosing a different path, she brings the boy back unharmed and, with Obi-Wan's guidance, finally lets go of her hatred. Her fate after this moment of redemption remains unknown, though we would argue her repeated survival against lethal injuries should be studied by every Jedi who ever lived. Lin Rakish, a member of the Nogri species, plays a major role in Barris's episodes and even appears in the background of Kenobi. Keeping it brief, she was once a Jedi named Lyris, sharing a deep bond with Barriss Offee during the Order. Somehow, she later becomes an Inquisitor, and even helps recruit Barriss into the Inquisitorius, manipulating her former friend with persuasive promises and subtle intimidation. While Barriss ultimately rejects the Empire, Lin remains loyal, following orders and enforcing the Emperor's will with cold precision. During a confrontation, she accidentally inflicts a serious wound on her former friend, a moment that shakes both women to their cores. Overwhelmed with guilt, Barriss begs Lin to walk away from the Inquisitorius, reminding her of who she used to be and of the ideals they once shared. Struck by remorse, Lin makes a life-changing choice. She leaves her Inquisitor lightsaber behind in the cave where they fought and carries Barriss's injured body out, seemingly choosing to abandon the dark path she had followed for years. This pivotal act hints at a complex moral struggle and a potential redemption arc that remains tantalizingly unresolved. The fifth brother was a former Jedi initiate from Artemisium who lost faith in the Jedi after the Republic approved strip mining of his homeworld, a decision that caused massive destruction and countless deaths. Feeling betrayed and disillusioned, he turned away from Jedi ideals and embraced a new path entirely. After the Republic fell, he willingly joined the Inquisitors and devoted himself completely to their cause, leaving behind any trace of compassion or mercy. As part of the Inquisitorius, he became a ruthless, relentless hunter, feared by any Jedi unfortunate enough to cross his path. Among his targets were Jedi like Ithkoth, Sysis, and even Obi-Wan Kenobi. After the Grand Inquisitor died while fighting the Ghost Crew, the fifth brother and the seventh sister were assigned to track down the Spectre rebels. He faced Kanan and Ezra several times, and even fought Ahsoka, though he rarely accomplished anything aside from showing up, losing, and adding action to the scenes, making him both menacing and somewhat comical in his predictability. During his final encounter with the Ghost Crew on Malachor, the fifth brother, alongside the seventh and eighth sisters, confronted the rebels. What they didn't realize was that Darth Maul was also on Malachor and had teamed up with the rebels, creating an unbalanced fight that doomed them. After Ahsoka disarmed him, Maul finished him off, leaving the fifth brother dead and humiliated. Across the galaxy, each Inquisitor left a unique mark, some driven by vengeance, others by ambition or guilt. Their stories reveal the tragic consequences of betrayal, the seductive pull of the dark side, and the fragile line between loyalty and obsession. Whether remembered as hunters, survivors, or reluctant villains, the Inquisitors collectively paint a complex portrait of the Empire's shadowy enforcers, leaving a legacy that continues to haunt Jedi and fans alike. If you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for part 2, where we break down the rest of the known Inquisitors in Star Wars lore, and be sure to check out more related content shown on screen.